Ben Crawford is the co-founder of branding shop Tomorrow, which he runs with his sister Libby. The pair first came to public attention when they won the first ever Block reality TV competition back in 2012. So Ben, thank you very much for coming in. You obviously made your name for the general public on television. What was the experience of going through the Block like, and what made you decide to go in to start up your own business?
Yeah, I mean, the Block was probably the hardest thing I've ever done, but also one of the most rewarding. Winning the show, crazy walking around and seeing yourself on billboards and things like that, which is bizarre. But really what it gave us, I think, was the confidence that you can do a lot more than you think you can do. Also seeing behind the inner workings of a production like that, and just there's a science that goes in behind, who they're choosing and why they're choosing certain people and how that aligns with a audience demographic and things like that. So it was really interesting from a marketing sense around, it's not just, it was fly on the wall, but, there's actual a science and rationale behind it. But what it gave us for starting out a business, it was something that we'd always wanted to do. Our expertise were in marketing, branding and design, and we had a plan in place to do that. It was just having the confidence to quit your job and make that big step. And so winning the Block gave us that reason, that impetus, that confidence to actually, we've got some money we can rely on. We don't have to earn anything for a couple of years and give it a really, really good shot. So it was a really fortunate starting point for us.
Not everyone could work with their sibling for such a long time. It's such a high pressure in a small business, a startup. How do you guys cope with that?
Libby and I have always had a really good relationship. We grew up on a farm, had a lot of wide open spaces, so we weren't, at each other's throats in a little, townhouse or something like that. So really fortunate to have that upbringing. And we've just always had a really open, trusting relationship of each other. So, that's the really strong fundamentals of a business partner.
Mm-hmm. Your business is a branding business. How do you mark yourselves out in a very saturated marketplace, really?
Yeah, so the design, branding, advertising world is really saturated from an agency point of view. So, we've got 12 plus years now of a legacy and relationships. So relationships are really key to that, and how we are to deal with. And a lot of those sort of family values, farming values have come through around, we do what we say we do, and but we'd never be where we are without the quality of our work. So we're only as good as our last projects. And so, that is really the only way we stand out, as well as the process and things we go through with our clients.
Just as a general comment, what would you say are the typical mistakes that people make with branding?
There's probably two mistakes that we often see with people starting out a brand or looking to reposition from a brand if they're an existing business. Starting out, often find trying to be too many things to too many people, really wide target audience, spanning 50 years and male, female and things like that. So that can be really challenging, and it's not successful if you're not a lot more focused around who your audience is, what the problem is you're trying to solve for them, and what your solution, I guess, is for them. Then for an existing brand, can be a lot of attachment for whatever reason to the current brand, and it can be just an exercise in working through, what has got the most equity in the brand, what should be retained, and then, obviously we've been approached for a reason, and so helping kind of work through that process and help a business get to where it wants to be going.
And you rebranded yourself, so you had to go through this experience yourself.
Yeah, it was really interesting going through a rebranding of our own organisation and putting ourselves in our clients' shoes, so get a real appreciation of, I guess, those aspects around, the legacy, the origin of where you got to from a brand point of view, and kind of, a hesitation around what could be lost if you change your name, change your brand, but then sort of keeping in your mind, we're changing for a reason. It's in the long term, it's going to be beneficial.
Right. And so this competition that you've started running this year, Brand for Good competition, tell us a bit about that.
Yes, so the Brand for Good competition was an initiative we started or launched late last year, looking for businesses around the country that are doing good, what it says on the box. And we're looking to, help a chosen business there through their branding process, website, packaging and anything that they are doing. So providing our full services to the winning business, which ultimately we chose at the end of last year.
That's great, Ben. Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you.
To support our award-winning independent journalism, subscribe to nbr.co.nz.